Hey everyone, this is Ben from Masterminds Escape Room and Game Library. I'm here today with one of my best friends, Brian Hunt, and we are going to talk to you today about the Spiel des Jahres Award, which is an award that was just handed out to the board game Azul, and that's the 2018 winner. And it's a game that we love playing. I think it's a good 2 to 4 player game. We're going to talk about Azul here in a little bit, but we also thought we would take the time today to kind of fill you in on what that award exactly means when you see it plastered on a board game. So, Brian, why don't you tell them a little bit about the Spiel des Jahres Award and where it came from?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
The Spiel des Jahres is an award given out in Germany every year for the best family-style game. And it's given out, and it really has promoted the quality of the board game components as well as artwork and everything else that they take into consideration to give this award, and it's really helped the board game industry in Europe especially. And we actually here at the library do have the winners for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Available.
And I mean, it's, they were sitting on the shelf, and some of the board game art has the award on its cover, and some of them don't. So, without going back and actually researching it a little bit, we didn't know that these actually were all in our library either.
Right.
So, we're going to go ahead and start off today with the winner of 2018, and that's the board game Azul. I love Azul, and I know Brian does as well. Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about the mechanics of Azul?
Absolutely. In Azul, it's for 2 to 4 players, and you're taking these colorful little tiles, and you're drafting those tiles from a common pool, and you're laying them out on your board in order to fill in rows and columns in a way that will fill in your board to maximize the scoring potential. And the whole way, you're just kind of creating this beautiful mosaic of tiles. And it's a very visually appealing game, a fun game with a lot of strategic thinking.
Right.
But definitely very easy to pick up and learn.
Yeah, and I love recommending Azul here in the library because, number one, the artwork is just beautiful, if you can't tell, and the components are just amazing in general. They almost look like candy. You almost want to eat them. But I do like the mechanics of the game. It almost reminds me a little bit of Sudoku, if you're a lover of that. And every time you sit down to play this game, it's going to play differently. And I love games that do that because it encourages you to sit down and bring it back to the table. So Azul was the 2018 Spiel des Jahres Award winner. Okay, Brian, what came up in 2017?
So in 2017, we have the game King Domino. Ben, do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, and King Domino is one of those games that does have the award on its cover, in case you were unfamiliar with how that looks. But King Domino is such a cute little box here, but actually King Domino is a tile placement game where you are the king of a kingdom, and there are different types of land train that you're placing around your castle to maximize point values. So really the scoring in this is just a multiplicative sort of matching game, and you're also trying to organize your tiles on the board to maximize your points. Once again, a quick game for 2 to 4 players. Plays in about 15 to 20 minutes. A few different game modes you can throw in to make it even more difficult. And we don't have Queen Domino here yet, but Queen Domino can combine with King Domino to make an even larger game and player mat. So King Domino, the 2017 Spiel des Jahres Award winner. And then in 2016, we have a game that I'm sure you've seen a lot. Maybe you see it in Target or Walmart, and that's the game Codenames. Codenames is a wonderful game. Brian, you want to go ahead and tell us about that one?
Absolutely. In Codenames, you're dividing into 2 teams, and each team will have a spy master, and the spy master is trying to get their teammates to guess the spies from a bank of words that are in front of them. And some of these words will represent spies on their side, or maybe spies for the other side, and definitely, or some of them are just innocent bystanders.
Right.
And you're trying to give these just really simple clues and hints in this word association kind of play style in order to get your teammates to guess which word you're trying to think of, all while trying to avoid the assassin, which will instantly end your game.
Right, and Codenames, albeit the theme is there, this is probably one of those games you could simply boil down and say it is really a word association game.
Absolutely.
Almost mixed with a little bit of charades, but we're not acting things out.
Right.
We're giving word clues to get them to guess the corresponding words. And I love this because you can string together an amount of clues. And if you know your partner well, this game will be easy for you. If you don't, good luck.
And
Right.
this game has been reskinned so many times
yeah.
with
Multiple versions.
Disney, Marvel
Yeah, I
has a
think I
version.
just saw Marvel come out. Yeah.
So-
CGE Games did wonderful with this. I can't wait to see. I'm sure they're going to have some other codename
I'm sure.
brands coming out. So, all right, Brian, why don't you tell us what our 2000 what are we at?
15,
Model Winner?
2015 was the game Colt
Ooh, yeah.
Express.
And I'll go ahead and take this one. Western is a common theme amongst the board game community. It's definitely, I don't want to say overdone, but there are a lot of Western games out there, and many lack the feel of a true train robbery such as Colt Express. I love explaining this game. I love setting this game up. And of the games that we're going to talk about, this will probably be one of the few that I actually take out of the box today. We don't want to take up any more time than we have to, but just check out these cars. 3D game boards, I love. The next Field of Hearts Award winner, Camel Up, which is coming here, is a 3D game board as well. But basic mechanics of this one is it's a player programmer. I mean, you're
Yep.
simply playing cards. Everyone plays cards over the course of the round at the beginning to program your little workers to go and take actions. But it feels like that true train robbery because you're punching, you're missing people, people are ducking, you may shoot someone, but you miss. So wonderful game here. What is this, 2 to 6 players? Beautiful table presence. It's hard to walk by this game without staring at it and running into a wall. So I love Colt Express there.
All right, as Ben had mentioned earlier, in 2014, the winner was Camel Up.
Yeah.
And it is a quick 30-minute game, 2 to 8 players. It's a lot of fun. You're actually placing wages on camel races. And the fun thing about this one is called Camel Up. So as the camels are moving around the board, they're actually stacking on top of each other, which kind of makes for some interesting dynamics.
Pretty realistic mechanic when you think about it.
Absolutely. So it's kind of interesting when you're trying to predict, which camel will win the race. So you're placing wages, you're taking turns taking actions to move the race along, or to place wages on who will finish first, who will finish last, that sort of thing.
It's definitely a betting mechanic, and I don't say that to deter you from playing Camel Up, because once again, 3D game board, beautiful pyramid that the camels are racing around, but ultimately you're trying to collect the most money, and there's multiple ways to do that, as you mentioned. You can bet on the final race, you can just be a worker and advance the race, to see kind of the odds and watch them play out. Big fan of probability here. There is some luck involved when the dice come out of the pyramid, but the more you play this, the better you're going to understand kind of how that probability factor works. All right. And then after Camel Up, we have a game called Hanabi that came out in 2013, our Field of Hearts winner. Brian, why don't you tell us about Hanabi? I know you love seeing this at the table.
I do really enjoy Hanabi. It's a very popular game among my friend group. And essentially, Hanabi is a very simple card game, fits in a small box. You are all firework creators, and unfortunately those fireworks have now been mixed up and the show is about to go on. And of course everyone will receive a small hand of fireworks, but the catch is that you cannot see your own hand. The other players at the table must spend clue tokens or time tokens in order to give you hints on what's in your hand, and there's certain rules they have to follow when they give a hint. And your goal is to then create matching sets of colors that go up numerically, so that you can create this show. And it's a co-op game, so you're working together to kind of beat the game and in a sense kind of get your highest score out there in order to put on the best fireworks show that you can.
Right, and I love cooperative games, especially to introducing games like this to first-time board gamers, because, hey, it's either we're all going to win or we're all going to lose. So it takes out that sort of factor of, hey, I don't want to lose the first time I play a game. Wonderful game here. Definitely got to work on your communication kind of back and forth, because I don't know if you had mentioned, but you're not allowed to talk, over the course of your turn, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Just during the clue giving, and there's only certain rules. And
once again, it fits in your pocket, right? I mean, this thing could go anywhere, literally. So, all right, what's up next?
All right, in 2012 we had the game Kingdom Builder. In Kingdom Builder, you are each building a kingdom. And at the beginning of the game, you kind of have these randomized maps that go out there. and you have these cards that are revealed in which it changes kind of every time how you score points.
Right, yeah. I think that's interesting because, you know, when someone looks at this box art, or if I turn it around here and kind of show you the table presence on it, kind of looks like a Catan, you know, a Settlers game. Kind of has that feel a little bit, but it plays much quicker. And I like it because there's multiple ways to score points. So, you know, when you're building your land platforms, and once again, this is a game that when you hit the table, because of how you put it out, it's going to play completely different every time. Am I correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
And this is what, 2 to 4 players, 8 and up, 45 minutes play time. I think it's probably closer to 30 actually.
If you get a group that really knows what they're doing,
Right,
yeah, you can definitely knock it out very
definitely if
quickly.
you've played it before. So wonderful game here by Queen Games. Queen does a good job with their box art, and obviously the 2012 Spiel des Jahres winner. All right. Next up is Quirkle. Quirkle was our 2011 Spiel des Jahres winner. Quirkle is a tile placement game where you're literally trying to match either shapes or colors in a row. Now, I will let you in on a little secret. My wife and I, we love this game. We'll take this, you know, if we're eating dinner out at Pizza Hut, this will hit the table, right? No downtime while we're out to eat. Quirkle, it's fun. You know, it's geniusly simple, I would say. It's bright, you know, colors, good wooden components. It just feels like a classic board game that's been around for ages. So, Quirkle, your 2011 Spiel des Jahres winner right there. Okay, we get, what, 2 more coming up here?
2 more.
Yeah.
In 2010, we had the game Dixit. And Dixit is a really fun game with some pretty interesting cards that have this beautiful artwork. And it's kind of a story interpretation game in sense where you're playing a card and giving a little bit of story or a hint or a clue in order to clue in the other players at the table, but not making it too obvious which card is going to be yours. Because the goal of the game is definitely to get some people to guess your card, but not everyone. You don't want to be too obvious.
And that's the hard part. I mean, if you play with a literal person, it's very difficult for them to give a clue where everyone doesn't guess it, because I mean the pictures and the illustrations on these cards are just beautiful, and I think they've even came out with some expansions to where you have more images.
Oh yeah,
because after a while you may get used to kind of seeing the cards if you play this game time and time again. But this is a game that actually, I know it says 8 and up, but this game could play with some younger crowd, depending on kind of you know who's all there. I've actually used this when I taught in the classroom. You know, just for the illustrative purposes, some creative writing can definitely spin off these images in this. So, Dixit, beautiful artwork, wonderful mechanics. Your 2010 Spiel des Jahres winner right there. And the last one is Dominion. Dominion was a 2009 Spiel des Jahres winner. This is a deck builder. I know, Brian, you played this quite a bit. Played it once or twice. You know, that deck building mechanic. So I'll let you tell us a little bit about Dominion.
All right, with Dominion, essentially, you are the lord over your own feudal plot, basically, and you're kind of building. Everyone with deck builders, you start out with a not so great deck, and you're kind of filling it with better and better cards in order to maximize your scoring potential. And with this game, it's great because it comes and there's so many different card variations that you can potentially, every time you play, have a different type of game run. You know, you can have these high scoring games if you put in all the big point cards, or you can have these really ruthless cutthroat cards if you put in the cards that will, you know, do harm to your opponents, make them discard, make them cost them some points, that sort of thing. And this game has countless expansions that have just really made this game very diversified, and essentially how it kind of feels and plays every time.
Right.
Definitely among deck builders, this is an easy one that's easy to pick up and teach to newcomers to deck builders. And it's definitely one I really enjoy. Plays in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and that's quick when you consider it being a deck builder. Yeah. And, you know, it says 13 and up, but I would just say maybe that's because of all the reading that goes into understanding what the cards do and how to build that almost, you know, mechanic, you know, of the deck builder that you can really create to become successful in games like this. So, Dominion was the 2009 Spiel des Jahres winner. I'm going to stack that up there, and hopefully those don't come towering down. Yeah. But basically, that was our you know, video for today. We just kind of wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the Spiel des Jahres Award winners, especially with Azul being named 2018 here. That's the newest one to come out. So if you haven't played Azul, it's a wonderful game. We're going to be coming out with a video that kind of shows you how to play Azul and the mechanics behind the game. So drop a comment below in the video page here to let us know, are there any other games you would like to kind of either watch us play or demonstrate for you guys. So for Brian and Ben, we're coming here from Masterminds today. We thank you guys for watching, and we'll check back soon with us.